Good morning, everyone. So welcome to Cloudy Club. It's our Q&A. This week we're going to talk about artist block. So winter's coming up. It's practically here. We got our first snow here in Michigan today. It was just a little dusting, nothing serious. It's like melting already, but I figured this would be a good time to talk about artist block because this is the time of year where we are all inside. It's cold outside. There's nothing to do, especially here. We just got like another phase of lockdown, so no one is really going to be out and about at bars and all that. So I figure we can all hang out inside and create some more artwork. So this is something that I use. Most of the time I don't write it down, but I figured it'd be helpful if we all wrote it down and actually did it on paper, kind of like a mini workshop. But this is something that I do when I'm stuck and I don't know what I want to make. I used to actually go to cure artist block. I used to go on like Pinterest or look at hashtags on Instagram, but I found that that wasn't really helpful because what ended up happening was I would just kind of cherry pick what other people were doing or what other people were making, and I would be like, oh well, I like this image from what this artist did and this one from what this artist did, and just kind of combine them in my own way, which is fine too. But when you want to make something really original and really you, that really expresses like your own self and have something come out that's actually unique and not kind of just like a combination of what other people are doing, it's good to just kind of come up with ideas on your own. I just feel like it's better that way. I think you make better art and you end up liking it more. I do anyways. And this is something I've been doing for a long time. So we're going to write it down and make it official so you can come back and look at it, because you can make multiple prompts from like this one exercise for yourself. So get a sheet of pen and paper if you don't have one already. I have my handy dandy notebook that I have with me everywhere, my purple pen. So, and I don't know if you guys watched the one from the Q&A from, I think it was the week before last, but we talked about being yourself and fully expressing yourself and basically just being honest when it comes to your art and what you make, because your art's a reflection of you. So if you haven't watched that, that will help you with this exercise too, because I feel like some of these things, the first thing that pops into your head is maybe going to be something that you wouldn't want to actually put out there, but I feel like you really should. And so if you're struggling with that, watch that Q&A. It'll help you. So with this, when I give you these prompts and things to the list to write down, I want you to just take the very, very, very first thing that comes into your head, because otherwise it's not going to be as good and it won't be as fun. So first one is 3 words that describe you. And this is hard because nobody likes talking about themselves, right? And I actually did not do this in advance. So I'm going to write my 3 little bullet points. And also try not to, because the first one that came into my head was like artsy. Okay, but that's like redundant. We're making art here. Please try not to write artsy. That was the first thing I thought of. So I'm going to go with plant mom. You can see the plants behind me, plant mom. I could also go with dog mom because my dog is barking in the background. And then I'm going to go with adventurous. Okay, so that's 3 words that describe me. And this can be, you can do this like a million times, because obviously there are way more than 3 things that describe you. I could come up with 100 words or 100 titles that describe me. So you can just over and over and over again if you really want to, anytime that you're stuck, or you can keep the same list and really it doesn't matter. Okay, now you've got 3 of those things. It's gonna be 3s of everything. 3 objects that you use every day. So right off the bat, for me, coffee mugs. I use a different coffee mug. I can't not wait to have a house. Joey and I are still looking for a house, by the way. I can't wait to have a house because I want to have one of those giant mug racks where you just have like your whole mug collection just on display. So coffee mugs. I'm also gonna do rings, jewelry, which I actually am noticing looking at myself in this video that I'm not wearing any, but rings. And then I'm gonna go with my phone, which I wish wasn't on this list, but it is. I use my phone every day. All right, 3 activities you love is the next one. So these do not have to be big. It can be taking a nap. It can be, you know, I love to go skiing or snowboarding or whatever. Like you don't have to do them every day. It could be something that you do once a summer. I love to go hiking. I love to take naps. I love to brush my teeth, whatever. Just 3 activities that you love or that you do all the time. So I'm gonna go with hiking because I love doing that, even though I don't do it all the time. I'm gonna also do stretching / yoga because I do that every single day off that I have, whether it's for like an hour or whether it's for like 10 minutes if I'm rushing in the morning, if I have to like work that day or whatever. So I do that every day. Stretching, yoga, eating is the next one that I thought of. Seems very small and boring, but just write it anyways, even if it seems small and boring, because food art is a thing, y'all, and I love food, and drawing food is kind of hard, but I do that sometimes. Okay, so the next one is going to be a little challenging, and again, the first thing that comes up into your mind. 3 unpopular opinions that you have. So mine is going to be that eating meat is bad for you. And I know that's unpopular, but I don't eat meat except for fish. And I think that the leading cause of death in the US, and it is a leading cause around the world, is heart disease. And that shit's caused by your diet. So I don't eat meat. I also think that anything that's considered normal is usually boring, or like there is no real concept of normal. It's only normal for you if you do it all the time. So what's normal for me is definitely not normal for other people. So I think normal is fake and boring. And you can do things too that are like very small. People always say like pineapple goes on pizza or it doesn't go on pizza or whatever. Like it doesn't have to be life-changing, like, you know, I hate Trump or whatever that's controversial. Like just write whatever. It doesn't have to be like monumental. And this is just something, sometimes these ones are kind of hard to portray in your art too, because they're more conceptual, like normal is boring. Okay, well, how do I draw that? You know, so this can just, sometimes you can write it in a message. Sometimes it can become like a very beautiful political piece. Like you see all those ones right now about Kamala Harris, how, you know, she's going to be like the first vice president who's a woman. That's like really cool. Or, you know, people are like, oh, Kamala Harris is a cop, whatever, like whatever side, it can become like a big meaningful piece, or it can just be like pineapple on pizza. You know, like it doesn't have to be serious. And either way you can use to influence the mood of your piece, whether or not it's the actual subject matter or not. So I think that this is just kind of helpful, and it doesn't have to be serious like that. Another unpopular opinion is I don't like the color red in my house. And this is something that I've noticed is actually unpopular, because looking for a house, everybody like paints their house red. Like this house we're looking at right now, their whole kitchen is red, painted on the inside. The door is red, the steps are red. I don't like that. Like I think it's very ugly. So I don't like red decor. Okay, the next one is 3 people you admire. So this is cool. One person that I do admire, I'm gonna go with Albert Einstein. If you've ever read some of the things that he's wrote, he's actually really philosophical, and he's not religious per se, but he doesn't like rule out religion. I don't know. And of course he's like a crazy, you know, scientist, whatever. He is actually someone who is really interesting to read. I don't agree with everything that he talks about, but he's just an interesting character. So Albert Einstein. I'm also going to go with the owner of John King Books in Detroit. He is a weird guy for sure. If you've ever like read any of the interviews by him, he's still alive, by the way, and John King Books is still up and running. Probably hardly this year though. This year's probably been very hard for them. But yeah, he is a bookstore owner. He's always been like a bookworm. He's a really cool guy, and I just think it's awesome that he has taken such a business in a market that's really hard to be in, and something that he's so passionate about, and he's just made it work. He's always made it work, you know what I'm saying? And I don't know, I just think that that's awesome, because even if, you know, people don't buy paperback books anymore, or, you know, people don't read anymore, or he is passionate about it and he made it work. And I think that's something that's really admirable to me. Another person that I admire is my mom. I love her a lot. She is I don't know, she just always listens to her intuition. And I guess both my parents, I admire them, which is maybe a little corny, but my mom, I think, has been a great example to me, and I try to follow a lot of the stuff that she does. Not everything, you know, but and my dad's a really hard worker, and he's very proud, and I'm more like him than I guess I would care to admit, but I definitely also admire my parents. Okay, so that's it. Those are the only lists that you have to make. I'm gonna write this really quick. And I mean, you could ask yourself all types of questions if you wanted to, you know, like what are my favorite colors, or what are my whatever 3 things that describe fill in the blank. But these are some of the ones that I chose to do because I think that they are, some of them are challenging, some of them you never thought about, maybe you never thought about who you admired. You know, and like I said, this was very impromptu to me. I did not think about these beforehand. So you just let it come up. And honestly, if I were to answer these same questions tomorrow, they might be different. So that's why you can really do it every day. So what we're going to do now is you're going to take your 3 answers that you made for each of these things, and you're going to mix and match them. So I'm going to take, let's say, Bitzer, quit barking, bub. I'm going to take Plant Mom. I'm gonna go with Plant Mom, and I'm gonna go with coffee mugs. Just take 3, don't make it overwhelming. Plant Mom, coffee mugs, and then I'm gonna go with hiking. So how can I combine these things to make a really cute piece? I could paint a picture of a mug with a place that I've gone hiking. So I actually do have like a Hocking Hills mug. I'm not using it today, but I could maybe draw that mug and put some plants in the background. And I think that would be a really cute piece to do. Very simple, very easy. And I think that would be a cute one. Or I could mix, let's see, let's do my rings. Rings with normal is fake and boring. So I'm gonna try a hard one here. Let's try to add that in there. Rings with normal is fake and boring. And I'm gonna do my parents. So here I could maybe draw, oh, this is kind of hard. I can maybe draw, well, maybe it's not exactly a ring, but jewelry. My mom always, she always wears this Italian horn. And I noticed, you know, my uncle Doug always wears it too. And my granny wears it. It's an Italian horn for our family, which I never really see other people wear them. Maybe I don't pay close attention, but I think that's something that is definitely, it's normal for my family. It's maybe not normal for other people, but it's kind of a piece of jewelry that my mom always wears and that I love. So that's something I could maybe draw a picture of her like wearing the necklace. So really, I mean, you can just take any of these, combine them. You could do one alone. I could just draw like, you know, my phone with something that's on my phone, or I could just draw like Albert Einstein. You know, you don't have to combine them, but I think this is really good for generating ideas. And it honestly, it's just fun kind of too. You learn a lot about yourself when you do it. So another thing I want to talk about, say you are really good at generating ideas, because I pretty much never have trouble thinking about what to draw. I don't know if anyone else has just like an abundance of ideas, but I'm definitely one of those people. But I do sometimes lack the motivation to actually do it. So I could have the day off, and instead of painting, I will just be like, well, you need to clean, and you do this, and you do that. Like maybe a business aspect of my artwork is more important, like finances or whatever. And then eventually it's been so long and you're like, wow, I really haven't painted in like 2 weeks. So the motivation sometimes is lacking too, not just the ideas. So I wanted to give some tips of what helps me. This may or may not help you, but this is what I do. And I know everyone's different. So like I said, I do yoga like pretty much every day. So if I am feeling kind of in a rut, I will either like walk around, or I will do some stretches, do some yoga. Going outside helps, especially if it's a different temperature out there. I'll go outside and maybe play fetch with my dog, and the cold will wake me up, you know, and make me, you know, more motivated to change whatever it was I was doing, like maybe zoning out my phone. Also turning my phone off. Turn your fucking phone off. That shit is a time suck. Like you can check your phone for one thing and look up and it's been a half hour. Like shut off your phone. Really, like you need to do it. And then just give yourself like an hour. Be like, I'm unavailable for an hour, shut my phone off. If this actually brings you anxiety, because some people are like, well, I need to be able to be contacted if something happens, try to paint really early in the morning or really late at night, because this is a time where, for me, because this used to sometimes bring me stress, it's a time when people can assume that you're sleeping. So if someone calls you and you're unavailable, they can be like, well, maybe she's asleep. And you just, but really you're awake, you're painting, and you shut your phone off. But it's just at a time when people can expect that they like can't get a hold of you. Or like, for instance, Tuesdays, I always have Tuesdays off. If I do something like this in the morning or like anywhere between like 9 to 5 kind of, I can feel the pressure lifted, because people can say, oh, well, maybe she's at work right now, that's why she's not answering my call. Or, you know, something like that. Like take a time where people can expect that they won't be able to reach you, and it will take that anxiety away of turning your phone off. But really turn off your fucking phone, because it's like a huge time suck. Another thing is I will play a podcast or music, or like you can put, you know, this video on in the background, because it kind of occupies that part of your mind that is willing to get distracted. So, and that's because, you know, painting is kind of relaxing, and it really doesn't take up that much of your brain. Like your brain can wander while your hand does the work. So, and that is relaxing, and it's kind of meditative, but also can be distracting if your thoughts are wandering too far. Your thoughts wander into, oh dang, there's that thing I really needed to do and I haven't done it yet. So I put on music or a podcast that will occupy that part of my brain that could get distracted, and that really helps me a lot. And then just dedicating like a specific block of time, like I'm dedicating an hour, like period, no interruptions, just 1 hour, like it's not all day. And then you can take a break and come back and see if that helps you. And sometimes after the hour is up, you're just in a flow and you don't realize that, you know, so much time has passed and it works out. So those are my tips for you. I hope the exercise has been fun. I hope you actually wrote it down. If you didn't, you should go back and write it down and actually do it the right way, because it's fun and it really helps you generate ideas that are original to you, and not just like scrolling Instagram and saying, oh, I love the way this artist does this, like I want to try it too, which is great, but you don't want to look like everybody else. So yeah, so that's the exercise. I hope it was helpful. Tomorrow is Work in Progress Wednesday. I know I've been working on October's prompt still, which I just keep working on it and I just still hate it kind of. So I'm actually ditching it for now, and I've started working on November's prompt, which is cozy. So if you guys are stuck too, you can always use the prompts that I give you. So November's prompt is cozy. I'm trying a little fireplace. I'm really excited. It's very simple, very comforting, something that I can do quickly and feel satisfied, because I've kind of been in a rut lately, which is why I'm doing this exercise too. So yeah, tomorrow's Work in Progress Wednesday. Let me know if this was helpful for you, and also comment below like what helps you, because everyone's different. Everybody wants to like stretch or go play fetch with their dog when they're feeling stuck. You know, some people have other things that they do. So let me know your suggestions. And I will see you all tomorrow for Work in Progress Wednesday.